Hello and welcome to episode 14. Happy New Year, everybody. For those loyal listeners slash watchers, you probably missed us last week, but it was our bye week with it being a sort of Christmas break. So we didn't record. That fell quite nicely for me and Matt because it was two shambles of results for us. So we were more than happy to agree that we weren't recording. I think Jamie was one that definitely wanted to record. Surprised he didn't do an episode on his own, but
he could have done.
It fell. So the reason I'm doing an intro this week is I just wanted to square something off more than anything, and you've probably heard it before. And I think a few people have mentioned it as an empty threat, but I am to be taken seriously. And I warned Corona episode after episode leading up towards the end of that 20 crate I had. I made it last a long time. You've lost me, and you've lost your chance. I don't want you to come crawling now. I've moved on, and while this may come as a surprise to a lot of you that were talking about the beer so early, I just wanted to stamp my authority down and tell them that I've moved. And we're now rocking the lovely Modelo. Again, Target sponsor. You've got, how many have I got? About six.
You've got the post-season
at the moment.
You've got the post-season.
Well, I might go buy some more just to give you a bit of a chance, just to get out there. Absolutely fantastic beer. Again, I think it's a face that look good as a sponsor. I don't really know what more to say other than, I'm bringing you to 90 odd subscribers. What more do you want? Business you're going to get from this is absolutely booming. So yeah, come at me. Corona, F you. Boys.
Well, I think that moves nice on to my beer of choice this week. I've listened to what you said there, Tom. And if you're out there, guys, I'm available. As you can tell, I didn't tell Tom I was doing this. But I'm available, guys. I went for the cans, mixing it up. Tom had the bottles. I can be your new poster boy. Who Modelo anyway? You don't know about the Modelo virus, do you? So get at me, guys. I'm available. I will be your poster boy.
So if this fails, to do kegs right, I'll have to buy a keg just in case. We've got bottles, cans, and kegs. We'll be fine. I'm loyal to vodka, so I'm fine.
Yeah, I didn't tell Tom I was doing that. I told him I was going for something different. I've had it in my fridge for 2 weeks.
You've done well there. You've done well. You've done well.
Excellent beer, this. You won't see me slating it. You won't see me going elsewhere, guys. So get in touch. I don't even need to take over from Tony on the adverts. I'll happily just take a sponsorship. There we go.
Yes, don't listen to me. He's had a different beer every week.
Hey, this is their chance to say, do you know what? The third and short boys, all the best.
So yeah, swiftly moving on from that before Corona get any more advertisement than the worthy of. So final regular season week. Obviously all teams played. All divisional. And I think it was
another hat trick. I mean,
good week, wasn't it, boys?
We all won. We all won.
We did.
Finished on a hattie, which was the main thing.
Not sure I was happy with that win.
Yeah. I think there's a mixed bag, wasn't there? There was Matt got a win, wasn't happy. I got a win, was happy for a couple of hours. And then Jamie got a win, and he's probably
we clinched the top seed, so we're all right. Yeah.
Bought in a chubby in his shorts at the moment. So yeah, I think again, like I say, we'll swiftly move on from last week, and we'll go on to sort of this week's fixtures. So Matt, we'll probably start with the most negative. Bringing the new year in well, and we'll try and finish strong. So yeah. Over to you, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, as you can see, I'm not wearing any Raiders merch this week. I'm wearing the excellent third and short merch that is available to buy on silverfx.co.uk. Follow the links. Discount code available, playoffs21, gets you 25% off and free shipping. And there's also some new items that's gone there today, and some more items going on tomorrow. Women's and kids, I think tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's some little treats on there. If you don't follow our Facebook and Twitter and things, there's some extra graphics I've had done by a friend of the show now, I'll say Alex. Met him in the Raiders group chat, and he's incredibly done the graphics on his mobile phone, on his iPhone. If you've seen them, it's unbelievable what he's done with an iPhone.
Considering you can't like not mess up this hair. I mean, like this is special hair.
He's done a phenomenal job, and we are forever grateful for what he's done for us. Yeah, check out the merch. It's decent. I got excited today and ordered something before I think we were allowed to. I did anyway. But yeah, so the result from the last week before we lost to the Dolphins in a ridiculous situation. Really. I'm not going to talk too much about that because we don't want to spend 4 weeks talking about John Gruden. But yeah, we played Denver, divisional game, beat them. They're shit. They're really shit. They lead the league in turnovers. I think it's 32 turnovers they've had before the game of the weekend, which is essentially 2 a game, which is shit, really. So, guess how many turnovers they had against us? None. Absolutely none. I think Gruden said that he wanted to see a couple of our young defensive backs play a full game. So he wanted to see Abraham and Arnett play a full game. He didn't. They both got hurt. But it was an interesting game because the players that the Raiders rely on, which are Josh Jacobs and Darren Waller, both fumbled the ball. Waller is Mr. Reliability. He's just broke a franchise record for the most reception in the season by a player. He's gone over 1,000 yards. He's a tight end. Going over 1,000 for a wide receiver is a good effort. He's down as a tight end. I know he's essentially a wide receiver. We've got to use him for. But he fumbled the ball. He got hit pretty hard and the ball bounced out. Fair enough. Jacobs fumbled the ball. I think that was recovered by us. There was 2 interceptions. One was off Waller's fingers, out of his hands almost, landed in another player's hands. And then the other interception was a shit throw from Derek Carr. I'll be honest, he just didn't read the path the defender was taking, put it straight into his arms. But we won by 1 point. We were down by a touchdown with inside the 2-minute warning, wasn't it? It was about 1 minute 40 to go, I think. And we've gone down the other end, marched down the other end and scored. And we went for the extra 2 and Waller caught it, which I'm buzzing that Waller caught the extra 2 to win the game. Yeah. And it was Jacobs who scored the touchdown before that as well. Our 2 best players without a doubt. But it's just he had a 92-yard touchdown pass. It was passed for 30 yards, I think it was, and he ran the length of the field. It's fucking shit. That is shit. 92 yards. I know it happens every now and then, but
you don't want it to be against you, do you?
No. Especially when it's a divisional rival, especially when they've got nothing to play for. We didn't have anything to play for. We still want to win the game. It's still a divisional game against Denver. And there's a rivalry that's been there for years between the 2. And I'm dead negative. We won the game. We finished 8-8. In the Raiders group chat and in our group chat, I think it's been touched on that. Certainly in the Raiders group chat, that yes, we've improved on last season. Last season we were 7-9. We finished 8-8. It's not a massive. Gruden came in. It's his 3rd season. He had an abundance of high draft picks, and we've gone from when Jack Del Rio was sacked to 6-10, I think, and we've gone to 8-8 in 3 years. The Browns went from 0-16 to 11-4 in the same time frame, with also a lot of high draft picks. So it's, to me, I'm negative, and I was calling for him to be fucking stacked at the weekend. But I think he's got 1 more season. I think he's got 1 more year. So this is it now. I think it's year 4. Things need to change. We've had a level season, finishing 8-8. But I think it needs to be a winning season now. And I think if it's not 9-7 at least next year, then he has to go. I know he's got a 10-year contract, but I'll fucking drive to the airport myself. I'll get a flight, pick up a hire car, and say, "Come on, Johnny, you get your bags, you go for stuff, and just fuck off." But if you're not getting a winning season after 4 seasons of a lot of draft picks, and we had some cap space last year as well, which we're going to struggle with next year anyway, because we've got some players we're going to need to cut. Trent Brown can piss off. He's played about 30 seconds this year. Not our 6'9", 300 pound, not give a shit. See you later. Great player, but can't be having 20 million sat on the injured reserve list.
No.
Nelson Aguilar's going to need to get paid. We've got him on a 1 million year deal. So Tyrell Williams is a wide receiver. We got him from the Chargers. I think he was on about 12 million a year. he's already gone. I think he's been injured all year. He's not getting a new contract. He's gone. So I'd like to think they'd give Aguilar at least a big chunk of that money, 8, 9 million maybe, because he's done really well.
Yeah.
But just a deflating end to the season. When we're 6-3 with a favourable schedule, finish 8-8, and the only teams we beat were at the time the winless Jets and the Denver Broncos with 24 seconds to go. Just poor. But it's not a losing season.
And you're the only one in Kansas City's 15-1.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, beat the Saints as well. That's a good result. But I don't know what happens when it gets to like mid-October to like, sort of October, November time. Do we just not crumble. Play? Do we just? Yeah, I don't know. I was talking to a mate of ours who likes red last night, and I sort of alluded to not being done with Carr, but like I wouldn't be too disappointed if he moved on from him. And I'm a Carr fan.
I know that's what I'm saying. Like, oh.
But talking to Mark quite a bit, he makes some great points in that our division has got Mahomes, who we know is as elite as they can be. Herbert, who he's going to be as elite as needs to be, he's a baller and he's a rookie. The Broncos are I think they've got pick 9 in the draft. They're probably gonna look at a quarterback. They might move up, or they might look at somebody who's available. Matt Stafford is rumoured as being possibly going to Denver. So they're certainly Herbert and Mahomes. They're two really, really good quarterbacks we're going to have to face for a long time. And as good as Derek Carr is, he's not Mahomes. I think he's better than Herbert at the minute, but Herbert's his first year.
Yeah.
Do we move on from him? I don't know. I am a Carr fan. It's not me saying I want Carr to go and get traded. I don't think he will. I think Gruden likes him, and Carr has a great year. He has a really good year. But if they made moves to perhaps trade up in the draft, would I be too disappointed? No, probably not.
Okay. Mark wants Dak though, doesn't he?
Yeah, and
he's got it set. He's going to pay Dak.
So paying $200 million and give him a couple of draft picks as well.
No, I agree.
Not coming off the back of the injury he's had.
Too risky.
Yeah.
Especially we're going to absolutely snap him again next year. So.
Well, if you play us, well, you are playing us, aren't you? So yeah.
Yeah. I am. Yeah. It's sort of in the same boat as you, mate.
I like Carr.
Oh, I thought you on the same boat as in you want to get rid of Daniel Jones.
Oh God, no. DJ's the guy.
I don't want to get rid of Derek Carr. I'm happy with Derek Carr.
Wouldn't be as bad as you would have been 4 weeks ago.
You wouldn't have had a riot if he sold.
Halfway through the season, I'd have cut my leg off to keep Derek Carr. But now, like, if we move, it happens, doesn't it? You move on from players, and you have to get over that, I suppose. But I'd be heartbroken because I do like Derek Carr, but I can see the sense in potentially moving on from it.
It's almost like you say, based on that rationale that you and Mark were speaking about, it's almost like your hands being forced. It's not a choice that you're making yourself. It's almost like, well, when are we going to get that quarterback that can rush as well as throw and extend plays? Because Carr can't. He's not got the best pocket presence, has he? It's one of his weaknesses.
If he's protected, he's great.
Yeah.
If he has time in the pocket and time to read the field, he's brilliant. Super accurate. Has a bit of a cannon on him as well. But when the pocket collapses, he's pretty poor. He panics a little bit. I think that probably stems from when he broke his leg in 2016.
Yeah, it's understandable.
Collapsed around him and players landed on and snapped his leg.
Yeah.
But, he's not mobile. And the current crop of quarterbacks, you look at Mahomes, Kyler Murray, those sort of players, Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, they all run for 50 yards plus a game, don't they? And I don't think Carr is that kind of quarterback. He's more of an old school Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady.
Yeah, I agree. I suppose I'll go. We'll save the extended season for last.
And end it before the Bucks come on.
Yeah. Obviously we played the Browns the weekend before. Less said about that, the better. And it was Cowboys this week, so it was our fate was in someone else's hands. If we won, we did what we needed to do and beat the Shy Days, the Cowboys. But unfortunately, you know, our fate was in an absolute trash franchise's hand. And you know, I think we all knew that we weren't going to get what we needed there. It was a shock to wake up to see. Well, I say wake up this morning. I just couldn't sleep last night. I woke up at like 2:20, and I checked the score, and it was the second quarter, and they were 14-10 up, and I put the fucking game on like a dickhead, and you know, saw it through, and yeah, you know, I'm not going to sit here and blame the Eagles because it's the Giants' own fault. You know, those games we should have won that we didn't. I say it's the Giants' own fault. It's Evan Engram's fault. Fuck you prick. But you know, if he'd have caught that ball against the Eagles and hadn't fucking turned over against Cowboys, 2 wins we would have had. But it is what it is. I'm not down. It was a 6-10 season. Isn't it crazy that I'm happy that we had a 6-10 season because I'm not used to it. Things look good under Joe Judge. You know, he's building a real culture. You know, he's obviously done end of season interviews today. And the Giants sort of have a history of the players doing the interviews first, then the head coach on the same day. But then it's not normally John Mara and fucking Dave Gettleman speak normally sort of midweek rather than the Monday. And 4 players said today. You've got Blake Martinez, Jabril Peppers, Dalvin Tomlinson, and Logan Ryan have all used the quote, "I want to be a Giant for life." And it's coming from obviously that culture he's built, Joe Judge, and things look good. He looks like, you know, he knows what he's doing. I hope we don't lose Graham this off season. I'm sure he'll be interviewed for a few head coach jobs. Not only based on his talent, but also the Rooney Rule. You know, he'll be in that without a doubt because what he's done with our defense and the talent he's got is nothing short of remarkable. To have a top 10 defense by using zone, I've got no idea how he's done it, but he's done well. But yeah, so we go into an off season. Some changes need to be made. Fucking Garrett's got to go and Gettleman's got to go. Unfortunately, about half an hour before this episode, Matt Garofalo tweeted that no signs are pointing to either going. And as much as I'm not,
I think Garrett's
our boy Mike
is all right.
Yeah. See, you know, you go back to the first few episodes of this, and I was all pro Garrett, thinking happy days. You know, he should be good for offense, but his scheme stinks. Like, absolutely stinks. And, you know, yeah, it's so frustrating because actually, like, someone had put a tweet out yesterday and sort of analysing Garrett. And in the games where we've done well, it's like he does all these good plays that he's actually used his mind for in the first 15 snaps. And then it's like, oh, shit, I'm out of ideas. And then we stop scoring. And we'll just stop working on offense. And we go back to the field goals that that's all we can really score. The same happened again against Cowboys. You know, we had a great first drive, it was brilliant, and then it slowed down from there. It was just shit after shit. But yeah, I do think we'll keep Garrett because he's only had 1 year. And do you really want DJ going into a third offensive coordinator in a third year when there's still questions around him? There's no questions for me. I don't think there's any questions for Joe Judge, whether he's saying that to the media or not. The fan base is not as split as it used to be on him. Second half of the season, he's been good. Offensively, point wise, you know, we're not the best, but you can't just put that on DJ. When you look at his completions and his accuracy, he's brilliant, and he's not turning the ball over anywhere near what he was. And I think I said in the group yesterday, I think he's had 12 interceptions in total, including yesterday's, and 7 are Evan Engram's fault, not DJ's fault. Which is just mental, isn't it? You know, you're throwing a ball that's there to be completed, and that fucking retard just cannot catch and just fucking lets it bounce off his helmet, off his fingers. Like, I'm just done. When that fucking signed jersey arrives tomorrow, I am fucking binning it from the off.
I was going to bring up then.
From the off. At the start of the season, I was so hyped for, you know, Evan Engram come back and actually having an injury-free season. It's actually been a blessing that he's been injured for the fucking 3 years we've had him. He's another one that's come out. Sorry, that's 5 players. Engram's come out today and said I want to be a Giant for life. Well, fuck me. I hope it's for another team that give him to the Sheffield Giants for all I fucking care. Because he's just fucking
to try his hand
useless.
at baseball and play for the San Francisco Giants.
Yeah. So yeah, a few changes need to happen, but all in all, positive outlook. We've got it's the 11th pick. Interesting to see what happens with that. Who gets there. Mark give a great breakdown today. Look for anyone that is interested in someone that I'd probably class as a bit of a college expert and a college nerd. If you're hearing sort of players' names being bandied about, or sort of what your team's needs are, and you'd be interested in someone's opinion, just drop us a message, and Mark will give you a sort of 10-minute voice note of sort of what the needs are, what your cap looks like, what moves could happen, and who you could pick. And it's brilliant. He's done it for a few of us today. But yeah, so beat Cowboys, finish the season with a divisional win. Happy days. Fixtures were announced. Some favourable fixtures there, especially in the home leg for the Giants. We as fans now, we are expecting a winning season next season. Let's just hope we give some more tools to DJ. Right tackle needs to get sorted. Saquon come back fit and healthy, and a bit of depth in the wide receiver. I'll get out eventually. Core and an actual tight end would be great. Not a curly head fraud. And then that's not you, Jamie, by the way.
I was gonna say.
And then yeah, hopefully we keep Graham and add some depth in cornerback. Although I will say probably a bit early because I know we're going to say who's our standout player of the week, but every credit to Julian Love, who last 2 weeks has shifted over to cornerback 2 spot. He's actually a nickelback safety. Yesterday he played 100% of snaps. Brilliant. No wide receiver took more than 40 yards, and they don't target Bradbury because no one gets a catch on Bradbury Island. So and Julian Love did brilliant there. So every credit. But yeah, I need a bit more depth in there. Interesting to see what happens. But yeah, season over. Move on to the off season. We'll probably pick a team to follow. Whoever the Bucks get in the second round, because they'll absolutely destroy Washington.
Well, we've got Washington, then Green Bay. So go on, Tom. Go on, Tom. Go for Rodgers.
I'll pick one of the other teams, probably the Seahawks, just because of DK.
Will it be Green Bay? A Green Bay number 1?
Yeah, it's already Green Bay number 1. Yeah.
So won't Green Bay get whoever the lowest seed still in it is?
Without thinking, because we're the top wild card, but Washington with the bottom seed.
Yeah, but there's still number 6, isn't there? So who's seed number 6?
No, the thing I've looked at the bracket. We do have it.
It can move. It can move.
Oh, it can move. Oh, then that's fine then. 6
the Chiefs get whoever the lowest remaining seed is, and they've got the bye this week. So
if it's the lowest remaining seed, because we're 5th,
it'd be you or number 6. It's number 6.
Is it around?
Oh, there's 7th as well, though, isn't they? Because the 7th team.
Yeah, but Washington are 7, aren't they? So you'll beat them.
Washington are 4th because they won the division.
Oh shit! Of course they are. Yeah.
Yes, it's 5, 6, and 7.
God,
so 7th is, I want to say it's between the Rams and the Cardinals. Cardinals didn't make it, did they?
No, Rams definitely next.
Bears.
The Yorks won their division.
Bears, I want to say. I want to say the Bears.
Yeah,
the Bears have got the Saints.
Yeah, so that sounds about right then.
Bears
the Saints were 2nd.
It's got to be Rams. It's got to be because Seahawks won their division, didn't they?
Yeah, so the team that went through was
Seahawks versus Rams, isn't it? It's the actual game. Got them up here. Yeah, Seahawks versus Rams. Washington football team versus Buccaneers, and Saints versus Bears. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you look at that, and it probably is going to be the Bucs that'll be the lowest seed that go through.
But we beat them in the regular season, so.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I will 100% be supporting the Bucs in that game.
I mean, it could be the Raymond James miracle, going to our home stadium. we can only hope. Like I said, it's that Raymond James Super Bowl, isn't it? And I know you absolutely loved the Minnesota one the other year, didn't you? Like how they kept going on about that. So I'm sure it's going to be something that happens if we beat Washington. I hope we beat Washington.
You 100%, mark my words, just like the Jets went without a win, like I said. You will beat Washington.
How many did they win? 2?
Yeah.
Did
Washington
they win
are, and this isn't me being sour.
Yeah,
They are awful. They have got a great defense, but
Mhm.
they will not be able to compete with you guys at all. They're putting 20 points on the board.
You're like bigging us up now, and I'm getting scared. But the only issue that we have is it depends if Mike Evans is going to play next week because in our game,
he might make you slightly better, but I won't worry about that. He's not elite.
only player in his first.
Did he get the 40 yards?
Yeah, he got it, and then the next play went to grab the touchdown, and then obviously when he went to grab it, his foot planted and his knee twisted, so he would have got more and a touchdown. But literally, it was the next play after he got it.
One thing I will say before I move on to you, as much as I'm saying Washington is shit, I'm happy it was them that took it and not the Eagles or the Cowboys. Sorry, because it's great for Alex Smith, and not just that, Ron. Every credit, coming.
It would be a nice feel-good story if they do go all the way in there.
And a shocking franchise with so many issues. No GM, a dog shit quarterback who
no name,
no name. With all his health issues, overcoming cancer during it. Having IV drips at halftime. Every credit, and thoroughly deserved purely for that. And I hope that I'd love them to beat you, not just because we'd wind you up, but again, just for the Washington story to go on. But it isn't going to happen, and his missus has jinxed him by putting that fucking Vince Lombardi trophy out. I just don't agree with that.
The Legardi,
as Matt called it. Yeah. So yeah, over to you, Jamie.
I just want to check before we do. You are still coming next week, aren't you? It's not just going to be me for like the rest of the season. Like you guys are still here.
I'm going to get a freeze frame of me like this.
Yeah.
And
just to put it up.
Put it in.
It was just annoying because, like I said last week, was such a great game against Bones' Lions.
We ain't got time to talk about last week.
Anyway, so join us next week.
I mean, I don't know if you would have seen it. 348 yards, 4 touchdowns by Brady in the first half, and then he was like, "Nah, I'm not playing the second half," and then we're just out for the second half. And then Gabbett came in, and then this week he scored 399 yards and another 4 touchdowns. So 8 touchdowns in 2 games. Like over 700 yards, nearly 800 yards. Can't really complain. Everything just seems to be clicking at the right time. It's what Brady does. December's and January's his moment to shine, and it's why he's the GOAT. But it's really good as well.
He did have an interception this week. You didn't talk about that.
Yeah, but to be fair, that interception, did you see it? No, you didn't. So basically, what happened was he threw it. Scotty Miller caught it. And then he fell to the floor and the ball came out and they caught it.
Ugh.
Yeah, so that wasn't Brady's fault, but it counts. It counts as an interception.
I hate that it goes against the quarterback.
Yeah,
I hate it.
Like it was the wide receiver's fault.
I love that it goes against Brady.
Yeah. No. But it just seems to be right. I think, like I said, Mike Evans finally got his over 1,000 yards. Rojo was about 30 short from getting his 1,000. Mike Evans then went out from his knee injury. But like I said, 1,000 yards in his first 7 years. No one has ever done that before. And then the one thing that I absolutely loved, which I'm sure Matt will absolutely adore,
I want to talk about this.
Went on to about 138 yards, 2 touchdowns. Antonio Brown finally starting to click perfectly. No problems. I know we were getting a little bit worried when he signed, saying, well, let's see what happens in the court case and stuff. Let's see what's going on. And it just seems to be just working, and everything's coming together in the right time. So hopefully,
one thing I will say about it, this is what I wanted to talk about, was that I found obviously Brady absolutely targeted him yesterday because of the incentive bonus. Have you heard about that?
$250,000.
Yeah. Now they were making good points on Good Morning Britain this morning about it would have been very interesting to see how we would have reacted should that not have happened.
Yeah, I was watching it as well, yeah.
And it's almost like, why do you... I don't think they've done it because of it. I think Brady's done it because he clearly loves him. But can you imagine being in?
Because you know what, he ain't gonna drop it and give it for an interception.
But, imagine you're always being told, look, you need to target him because you don't want him to throw his dummy out and fuck anything up. It's just one of those things, isn't it? That it's that flip of the coin. You don't know why it is. But I loved it. I absolutely loved that he was it 4 shovel passes at the end just to get him up to where he needs. But I love stuff like
that. It happened for somebody else as well on a different team. I can't remember what it was. They had to give him a certain amount of receptions. He got 500,000.
It was Russell Wilson. Rather than take the knee, he made a throw to ensure that I can't remember who the player was, but got 1 catch to make sure he got a bonus. Which again,
there was one for 500,000. I can't remember who it was now.
That could be the one.
Right, I'll find out. I'm sure. They kept just literally targeting, and he literally got it. He needed 16 receptions or something like that in that game, and he managed to get it. Literally just kept throwing to it. There's 500,000 for you. It's beautiful.
I do like stuff like that, but like you say, it's not 2 players. Matt's very keen on an app in between.
But no, Antonio had a really good game, and like I said, everything clicked. Chris Godwin's finally got a few touchdowns. It's been a few weeks without him getting some as well. Falcons, we always said they don't deserve to be on the record that they're on. They are a very good team. They're 4-12, but they were so close with the Chiefs. They were 17-0 up against us. They're just they will start winning games and then just choke. So
I don't know why I don't support them, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they are Spurs.
They just
fourth as well. Fourth in our division.
Really, really good game where they didn't choke at all, didn't
they? It's all right, Matt. We've got them next season.
Yeah, we love it.
But, choke again. 44-3. It wasn't even close. 44-6, whatever. I can't remember.
35.
Not done a video for a while. How much? What's Antonio Brown's contract? Is it just this season?
Yeah, because of the whole other thing that's going on, I'm sure he just got a year or 2 year with Brady.
Cheap deal, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, that's 250K will pay off his out of court settlement that no doubt will happen.
You're not going to keep Godwin, Evans, and Brown next year. It's not going to happen.
It depends if we win the Super Bowl, though, doesn't it? If we win it, I can't see him not staying.
I can. But Antonio Brown will want money. I don't think he's asked that. Yeah. That's why he went to the Raiders and left the Steelers.
It just depends, though, if there's any good wide receivers that we can get. And then, like I said, we don't pay if it's Evans or Antonio Brown. I want to keep Godwin. I love Godwin. I'd happily keep Godwin. He's quite young.
Right. I think you'll keep Godwin cheaper than you'll keep Evans. I think Evans is better. Interesting. Be interesting to see. And that's not.
He's picking up some niggly injuries, though, Evans, isn't he, this season?
Yeah, and he's older.
7 years.
7 years. So he's a vet. Imagine that's what he's probably 30. I imagine.
He's just one of those players, isn't he? Like we've all got that you just don't want to let go of, isn't he? Like he's Jamie's guy.
Yeah, but look at AJ Green at the Bengals was top 3 wide receiver 4 or 5 years ago, and I don't think he's played a full season since due to injury.
Same as Julio Jones.
Yeah, it's not a great position to have an injury on because you need to run basically. At least with like an offensive tackle or whatever you want me to do a lot.
Yeah, I think that's the thing though. Even if he does decide to stay, he's not, like I said, he's not been that type of guy who's going to run and make 70-yard catches. He's there for the red zone threat. He is he's an aerial talent. Like you throw it in the end zone, he's going to pick. Well, that's why he's got 13 touchdowns this season, but he's only just reached over 1,000 yards. Yeah, he gets those jumps, and you can rely on him in the red zone. He's going to make those plays for you. Just going back to the 500,000 guy, it was Emmanuel Sanders for the Saints.
Ooh. Talking about red zone threat, I read a really fucking wild tweet before. It's not wild because of who it is, but Lamar Jackson in the red zone in his career has thrown 46 touchdown passes and not 1 interception. That is just mental, isn't it?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson as well. He's first quarterback to go over 1,000 rushing yards as well, isn't he, in a while. I think there's not a lot of people that have done it. He just got over 1,000 rushing yards.
Yeah, because he thought Murray was on target, didn't he, to do one of each, 1,000 of rushing and passing. I'm glad that failed, the little fucking midget.
Well, he got dropped in that game, didn't he? I don't know what happened in the
He came back in at the end, which was a shame, but hopefully he'll get a career ender soon.
But yeah, I mean, we're going to the playoffs. We've got Washington, so tune in next week to see us all out. So
as much as annoying,
and we can all be unbiased.
I'm glad one of us got there.
Because it could be last episode otherwise.
Yeah, at least it extends our interest a bit more.
Yeah, I'm just happy as well.
We're not interested.
Like we said at the start of the season, is it Brady or Belichick? 11 for 5 with the Buccaneers, who were
it's the combination of both.
losing.
Yeah, I mean, Belichick has nothing, has he? He has no, very little talent. He's got a crap Cam Newton.
Got Cam Newton, who's amazing.
Brady has got weapons all around him.
Yeah.
So
Bucks have got the team ready for him, haven't they?
Yeah. He's done well to land on his feet, if that's the right phrase, perhaps. And he had the options available to throw to, and they're pretty solid defensively, Tampa as well.
And
I'm not taking it away from him. I'm not taking it away from him either, because no other quarterback, especially when you got Jameis Winston, was doing it for Tampa. But yeah, it's not. I wouldn't say you've ripped Brady out of the Gillette Stadium, and that's what's caused them to collapse and caused Tampa to turn it around. It was definitely the Brady and Belichick partnership that just for some reason worked unreal with the team around him. Yeah.
I said the one thing about Brady, just to finish it off, is, like I said, 43 years old, over 40 touchdowns as well. It was third highest on the season. There was only, I think, maybe Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes in that area, and then Aaron Rodgers, who's been absolutely unreal all season. He's had 48 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. 48 touchdowns, 5 interceptions all season.
Do you know how many punts Green Bay have had?
Daniel Jones had 5 interceptions in a game. No, I don't know.
Do you know how many punts Green Bay have had this year?
1, none, 2.
45, which is less than the touchdowns thrown by Rodgers.
Wow,
that's mental.
I fucking hate.
He is amazing. I
think he's going to get MVP. But I promise you now, snip this. They will bottle it in the playoffs as they do
against us.
They will not be NFC champions.
I think they're the team to beat.
Definitely. The only thing I'm scared about, the only team that I'm not looking forward to facing in the playoffs is the Saints.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's just because they always mess us over, but But yeah, Drew Brees, he's announced kind of his retirement. He signed a deal in April to do NBC, but he's got a 2-year contract with the Saints, so I don't know whether that's going to take up after that. But I think obviously with the injury he's had with his fractured ribs, I think he's looking to maybe see how the season goes.
Where they go.
The Saints.
Because it's not going to be Jameis. And I don't think it's going to be Taysom Hill either.
No, and like I said, they're in the playoffs and they are probably the 3rd highest ratio to wins to losses. So
yeah,
they're not going to get a high draft pick, are they?
No, well, they've got every chance of being number 1 draft pick. Number 32 draft pick, aren't they? Sorry, because they've got every chance of winning it. But yeah, it'd be very interesting to sort of see where they go. One definitely to keep an eye out on. Maybe they'll be one of them that trades up. Who knows?
Or they just invest in, like I said, just pick up Dak if he is going somewhere. You never know, do you? And then
I just can't see the Cowboys are able to renew him on the money that he'll probably want.
If the Saints took Derek Carr would win the Super Bowl. There's my
just like Jameis is going to do.
I hope you're right. Because that means the fucking Bucks or the Chiefs haven't won it. I'll be happy with
that. Yeah, because like I said, I want somebody from the NFC to win it. So you got to stick with your division, don't you? So
yeah, and unfortunately, the Seahawks aren't going to win it.
No, you don't have to stick with your division. I want the fucking Chiefs to win it. If it's a Chiefs Green Bay, I'm all out A-Rod. In fact, if it's the Chiefs versus anybody out of 6 of the 7 teams in the playoffs in the FC, I want the NFC team to win.
I wear a
literally,
Chiefs
when
jersey
it's
if they're
when it's
beating
Chiefs
the
Bucks, what are you gonna do, Matt?
Chiefs.
Oof.
the pain that Gary and Jamie have caused this season, the hatred they generated.
It's not even Gaz or Jamie. It's Brady. I fucking hate him.
Yeah.
He's just so good.
Mixed in with a bit of AB, just a little salt bay on top.
That just puts it over the edge a little bit.
Oh, here's the goal with AB. Horrible.
The original name for the group chat was Brady Free Zone, wasn't it? So,
Yeah.
It was Gaz who made that name.
Yeah, the hypocrite that he now is.
And who was always a Brady fan now.
Yeah, you're just a glory hunter. You just love any
I love my quarterback. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's fucking. I'll tell you that. If Derek Carr comes, he is the best quarterback in the world if he comes to the Bucks. If Derek Carr comes to the Bucks after Brady goes.
What about Daniel Jones, though, if he was the Bucks quarterback?
Well, I might have to make an exception there. I'll buy if Daniel Jones becomes a Bucks player, I would buy his jersey.
I thought you were about to say
it ain't gonna fucking happen.
Like if Daniel Jones wins the Super Bowl, I'll get a tattoo with him. Please say that on a recording, Jamie.
What if Daniel Jones wins a Super Bowl with the Giants? Shall I say?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. You will get a tattoo.
If the Giants win the Super Bowl in the next 5 years, not going to happen. No, if they win a division in the next 5 years, that's how confident I am.
I think
you will get a DJ tattoo if they win a division in the next 5 years.
Giants are going to be good next year.
We hope.
They're against both of us, and we're going to smash them.
I'll say
if you two play next year.
Yeah, well, we don't play each other now.
That would have been nice to have a full round of it, wouldn't it?
Well, we did this year. I did. I don't know if you two played. I don't know if you two played each other, but we played Raiders and we played the Giants.
If Daniel Jones wins the Super Bowl, I'll get DJ 8 tired on
me. So will I. Don't you worry.
There you go.
It's happening. We're going together.
No, I'm not going to say where.
Say your forehead.
I'll say my arse cheeks. And the 8 can be my bollocks in between.
Can you say if he gets the Super Bowl MVP, you have to get tattooed on your back of him falling? You know, that gif.
That's the tattoo I'll get.
When you're not, remember this.
I mean, as a Raiders fan, we beat the Chiefs, the only team to beat them this year. But my favourite moment of the season is still Jones falling over. It still is. Because I woke up and watched it.
It just sums up 2020 perfectly.
Was it a Thursday night game? Yeah. It was a late game, wasn't it? I remember because I woke up and thought I just put it on. I only watched about 10 minutes and I saw that bit. So that'll do. I can go to sleep now.
You know what I've been like all season about fucking Giants and like, of course, so Giantsy. When he started to trip, I was just like, are you fucking kidding me?
He goes slow mo.
Of course. But thank God, because my instant thought, I wasn't laughing at the typical DJ. But my instant thought was, we're now not going to score. Like, rather than get a touchdown, he's fallen over in the red zone. We're not going to score. But thankfully, we converted.
That's his legacy now, though, and that's all he's ever going to be known for. He's never winning a trophy. He's never winning a trophy.
He could retire and he'll down out on that fall.
He could win 5 Super Bowls. That's all he's ever going to be known as.
That was me. That was me.
I love that the gift just resurfaces every time.
When he wins his first Super Bowl, I will get DJ 8 tattooed on it.
I like how you said he's
first. Let's say NFL Super Bowl because he'll be playing in XFL in 3 years. Speaking of though, wasn't there like a Canadian Football League player playing recently? Like
there was 2 XFL.
No, there was a Canadian Football League like quarterback playing. Like a Canadian Football League quarterback. I can't remember who it was now.
I'd read Harris, the Raiders came from the CFL.
Yeah, I'd read that. I'm sure wasn't it the Rams and Cardinals, both backup quarterbacks or XFL quarterbacks, and they were both playing.
I think
Just
that's
Bocker's
who,
out injured on Monday.
yeah, I was going to say, it must have been the Arizona quarterback, I'm thinking
I'm
of.
sure, was it JP that put it in the group? I'm sure someone put it in the group. But... so I suppose before we wrap up, we better move on to the wildcard fixtures, I suppose, haven't we? Are we going to get some sort of predictions going? Do you want to go through individual fixtures and just pick a winner from each, or?
Matt's that I don't want to.
Or are we now just going to go? We're going with a Super Bowl winner now. We know
some
who's in
games that could go either way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's the business end, isn't it? But there's certain teams that are hitting form at the right time. And my player of the week, or player of the week, whatever you call it, team of the week, was the Ravens for rushing, because they rushed over 400 yards as a team, which is absolutely ridiculous. To considering there's been weeks when teams don't even rush 100 yards, and they ran over 400 yards, so that would have been my. They're hitting form at the perfect.
Well, Dobbins is looking brilliant, isn't he, for a rookie coming into where he is now?
Yeah, Ravens are one to watch, I think.
I've always said it as well, like the Colts, like you're saying about 400 yards. Do you not see Taylor? He outscored Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry got over 200 yards. So Taylor was like, I'm just going to get 253 yards. It was like, here are the Russian leaders. Here's the Russian leaders of the week. 253, Jonathan Taylor. Like 230, Derrick Henry. And then 140. Like it just dropped by 100 nearly.
I think it was the fifth time Derrick Henry's gone over 200 yards.
Yeah, I mean,
but he got over 2,000 yards for the season, didn't he?
Yeah, it's just. I mean, Josh Jacobs just.
And they almost missed out on the playoffs.
Jacobs ticked over 1,000. I was quite happy with that because he's not had a great season really, but he still managed to get over 1,000 yards and he's a bit more covered from having a good year last year. Henry doubled that.
Yeah, and one thing I can't get about Henry is he just doesn't look like it's any effort. I was watching Good Morning Britain earlier, and obviously there was like a bit of a montage of his like rushes through the game, and there's one where he just runs through a pile of bodies. There are no gaps, and it looks like a jog. And all of a sudden, you just see from this blur, he just comes out, and there's 3 DBs chasing him, and they're all within a yard of him when he comes out of it, and he's just pulling away. But like they're full on like sprinting, and it just looks like he's at a canter. I can't. He's so big and so powerful. It just looks so easy.
Yeah.
It's mental.
That game yesterday was, I don't know if you watched it, was absolutely unreal. From one point, I think the Texans had, Deshaun Watson had an unbelievable game. And then Titans almost went into the wild card spot because they were losing and Colts were going to win the division. That's how close it was. And then I think they got the last minute field goal, didn't they? To actually win the division. Yeah, off the post.
You've seen all the reactions.
Because the other, because obviously I said Colts are probably my AFC team to go far this season. And they're all there because they turned off all the monitors in the stadium so they didn't know what was going on. And they didn't turn them on until like their game finished. And they're like, oh my God, we could win the division here. And all of a sudden, that's when it changed. But apparently the CEO or chairman or whatever you want to call him in America decided that no monitors and no scoreboards are going to be turned on in the stadium. So there's nothing in the stadium throughout the whole game because you don't want to know what's going on in that game.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So the players didn't know.
Yeah, because if they'd have seen that the Titans were winning, they might have it doesn't really matter, but they could have not made the playoffs.
That's why I don't get, like, when it comes to like football versus American football, obviously the last day of the season, all your games are the same time. The same as like the World Cup third round of the group stage. They're all at the same time. And I don't get why the NFL doesn't do it, because games have implications. And
they do to a degree. I think for some reason they just changed some of them. Like I said, the division games are at the same time, aren't they? The only game that was different, which I thought was really weird, was the Eagles game, the Washington Eagles game. I don't know why. I think they needed the third primetime game, didn't they? But
yeah, well, they do it the same. They do the 6 o'clock, the 9:25, and then the flex one. And obviously, the Washington Eagles is the one that had the biggest repercussions based on the NFC and it being, as much as it is the shittest division, it's probably been the most exciting finish.
In the tightest.
Yeah.
The tightest division.
But yeah, I don't know. For me, they should all be at the same time.
Could you imagine that red zone of all like 16 games on at 6 o'clock? And that's your football done by 9:25 though.
Or at least have NFC at one time. I suppose
and then the NFC at 9:25
because of time frames, can they? Because you look at the time difference from West Coast to East Coast.
There is that. I bet that's probably one of the main reasons.
Yeah. Because again,
that's because England's like we've all got the same time. We don't fuck about. I mean, we're not not hour ahead of London. So.
If it's 3 o'clock at Chelsea, it's 3 o'clock at Newcastle.
Yeah.
But
because
I'm just looking forward.
It must be times. Raiders play at 9:25 and we're at home, or 9:05, whichever one it's that week. But I think that's still like after. It's still lunchtime, isn't it, for them?
Yeah.
So it's still a lunchtime kickoff. So I guess if they were to play 3 hours earlier, it's an 8 o'clock in the morning. 9 o'clock in the morning kickoff type situation. So I guess that's probably why.
It's like if you're in America, if you're in America,
you could play them all at the 9:25 slot because even on East Coast, that's still tea time, isn't it?
Yeah.
You could do that slot, I suppose.
It's like if you're in America and you're trying to watch the Premier League and you have to get up at like 7 a.m. to watch the Premier League.
Yeah.
It's amazing. But I mean, we've got the playoffs next week, so I know you're all really excited for it. I can't wait. I mean, we got the Saturday 1 o'clock game, which is absolutely awful. So
at least it's the Saturday one, not the Sunday one.
I work Saturday and Sunday, and I'm at uni Monday. Doesn't really matter. I'm busy. So
quick fire. Who's going to win the Super Bowl?
Chiefs. Every credit you've got to go for them, haven't you?
Just like Casey, there's nobody else.
Yeah,
we can't say anybody else at this point now. We've got a full back behind them. If it's not the Bucks, then I would like it to be the Colts. Or the Packers. The Packers Colts would be a good game. Like A-Rod has been the best player this season by far. He deserves it. He's going to win the MVP. If somebody from the NFC has to go there, that's not going to be us. Then it's going to be the Packers.
You don't want Winston to be Cookies.
Oh God, it makes me sick every time.
You've done it.
Yeah, I don't lick my fingers left, right, and centre, and then chew on that. I just do.
You can do it, Bruce. You can do it, Bruce.
So who are you saying, Matt?
I don't know. You know it. I instantly head towards the Chiefs because I think they are the best all-round team.
Anybody but the Chiefs.
I'd
be happy with anyone, but yeah, I know, yeah. But I'm just saying anybody but the Chiefs is fine by me. To if I have to go with it, I still want to see the Chiefs win it again.
Chiefs have got lucky, and I think they've had a few games where they probably shouldn't have won, and they did do, and that often makes me think, well, that's what makes teams win championships because they've got the luck on the side. But then I think, well, if they're not, you don't often get luck in playoffs. You're not playing mostly shit teams in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's kind of going the same thing if you want to go back to the footy reference, isn't it? It's like the teams that win the Premier League are the ones that always find a way to win the games. But just because you win the Premier League doesn't mean you're going to win the FA Cup because you're playing these teams in the Cup, aren't you? And that's a one-game situation, whereas the league is over a season. Yeah. So, I mean, City have won the league 3 years and they haven't won the champs. So,
I think the Bills could challenge.
Bills definitely can't be overlooked. And I also think the Ravens, as mentioned earlier, they're hitting form.
Well, that's the thing. I think haven't Bills got a Colts?
Bills Colts. The thing that worries me about the Ravens is they've got the Titans again. Yeah, it's sort of mentally where they're at compared to after last season. It was the Titans that put Ravens out last season, wasn't it?
Yeah, but they own one, don't they?
Yeah.
So the Ravens are just hitting form for me. I was a bit disappointed that the Dolphins didn't get there, but Tua seems to have imploded a little bit, doesn't he?
Three interceptions, didn't he?
Get rid of the lefty. Get rid of the lefty.
We don't want no lefties in this league.
They've got a big decision to make.
I think I think I agree with Bart that they should take a quarterback that's best available, which is probably going to be maybe Wilson, although.
Or Fields or Wilson, isn't it? But I think Fields has played him back into number 2 now, hasn't
he? Yeah, I think so.
I'd love to see Tua get the boot. I'd love it.
I mean, we're saying is that the Dolphins, they finished like 10 for 5, didn't they, or 10 for 6? They had a really good record, and they missed out. Whereas like the Bears, who got through, I think
this is what we said. I said weeks ago that a 10-6 team isn't going to make the playoffs in the AFC.
Yeah.
And yet, fucking 6 and 10 Washington, or
7
and 9.
Yeah, but
not really better, is it?
Well, that's winning their conference, isn't it? But like I said, Cardinals were 8 for 8, Bears were 8 for 8.
It is bollocks.
And yeah, so like it was between Cardinals and the Bears to go through, and Bears went through on an 8 for 8 record. It should be AFC and NFC combined, shouldn't it? It should be combined record. It's a playoffs, isn't it? Why should there be an equal amount in each side? I don't know, but I don't know. It should just be all mixed all the way to the Super Bowls. You could have an NFC and an NFC in the final. Who knows?
Well, it's
when AFC.
It's actually Al Davis, isn't it? The old
you were saying that.
Who broke away and wanted to stick it to the National Football Conference. I mean, that's how it was done back in the 60s, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, like I said, you need a champion of each division, don't you? You need an NFC champion, AFC. I see why they do it, and it's fine. But
you can be a champion, but it's not record's not good enough.
Yeah.
Imagine if they did that, just the best 7 teams in each conference.
Well, could you imagine if Washington go on and win the Super Bowl with a 6 for 10 record?
It'd be great, but it is not going to happen.
It's not going to happen, no.
They would. How many? What did they finish? Was it 7-9? They finished
7-9. So, they'd have a positive if they went off.
Just.
Yeah. But yeah, it's unfortunately for them.
I'm saying this now, but in years to come, if we're still doing the podcast and the Raiders finish 7-9 and make the playoffs, I will love it.
Yeah.
We've got that.
Can you imagine how mad that'd have to be for that division to have a 7-9 winner?
Yeah. Mahomes would have to die. Herbert would have to give up.
Yeah.
Broncos are Broncos.
Yeah, it can happen.
That's basically it now.
I'm looking forward to seeing, my obviously pick was the Patriots, so clearly I'm getting a second chance now.
Do we pick a game to watch each? Obviously, you're going to watch the Bucks game, Jamie. So
I'll be watching they're all 3, aren't they? So I'll be watching it 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 1. I'll be watching every single game as much as I can. So
I won't be watching them all live. I'll watch probably.
This house knows Sunday's football day, so I'll just have to pull a Saturday and we'll be fine. Sunday's football day.
Let's have a look. I might focus on what.
Obviously, the main one's Bucks. I do want to watch the Colts game as well. I think did I just pick both late games? One of them, weirdly as well. I don't know if you noticed the Saints Bears. Obviously, the rematch from the whole punching incident. You remember that?
Nickelodeon.
It's on Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon. Browns, the other late one.
Yeah, so it's Nickelodeon has shown that game. But do you remember last time they played? It was that whole thing where he came over and was like, "Hey, are you okay?" Yeah. Slaps him in his face and just started slapping him.
Your Bills Colts is your early Saturday one, Jamie.
That's fine. No, it's a good. What a Saturday!
I think Saturday. The best game.
I really wanted to stay up for the Steelers and Browns, but I've done it basically every week.
They just recently played each other as well, didn't they? And obviously, Browns won, but Big Ben didn't really play, did he? But I think Browns will beat them again. Steelers, like we've said, the whole podcast are frauds.
Yeah,
they're going straight out. I feel like the Browns are good.
I don't want them to. I don't want Baker to go any further than what he's got.
Baker's bringing it home. Could you imagine those progressive adverts with the Lombardi Trophy there?
I don't think I could ever watch Game Pass again.
I'm going to focus on either the Seahawks Rams or the Saints Bears.
Go for the middle games.
Yeah, I think they're. I mean, the one I really want to watch is Bills Colts, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to pick that one up live. Time on Saturday, so I'm not sure. But
it's the one thing I've loved about like Corona. Like, there's no football games on at the same time anymore, footy wise anyway. Like, your Saturday or Sunday is going to be like, here's a game at 12, here's a game at 2, here's a game at 4, here's a game at 7. You've got football all day. There's not like all at the same time anymore. So it's just great. You can just watch that. And that's what obviously the playoffs is about. We can watch every single game.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, Obviously, this is probably going to go out live tomorrow. So predictions: Are we? We're going to be in lockdown tomorrow. It's happening.
Yeah.
I mean, it's about to happen now. So
being announced as we speak, isn't it? So,
and I'll have a look for one of them Super Bowl predictor things again, and we'll get a leak out.
I'm sure there is one, the Pickham's people.
Yeah, there normally is, isn't there?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've already seen it advertised. So as long as Josh Davis don't win again.
He's 3 for 3 from touchdown and he's doing me in. So he needs to be knocked off his perch. He's getting cocky.
Yeah, but he likes red.
He does like red. And he's also shit at table tennis.
We'll get him. We'll get him on the podcast at some point and ridicule him really.
That's it. Yeah, we'll try and get him on when he's not got a chance to read up as well to make him sound intelligent, because he'll clearly need to read a lot of Twitter and stuff and to have an opinion other than what's the nicest colour.
I really like them South and
as soon as the Chiefs get knocked out, they can come on, so that he's not on a happy time.
We'll speak to him in Feb then, shall we?
Yeah.
Ain't good.
Yeah, I think it'll be nice to sort of see where our predictions go from now.
Yeah, I'm still going Chiefs to win. I think I would love to see Mahomes Rodgers in the final, and I'd also be quite happy to see Breeze, if he's going to bow out, make the Super Bowl as well. I think Breeze
gets injured. Winston comes on for the winning touchdown.
I mean, do you know what? If that happens, I'll be quite happy, because it means the Chiefs haven't won it and the Bucks haven't won it. So.
Yeah.
And Winston told you in February, I'll see you in February for that trophy.
God, please no.
Yeah, I'd love it to be a Chiefs Packers final, but who knows? Who knows? We all thought it'd be the Ravens last year, didn't we, with how they were playing?
I mean, all of our predictions could change next week because half of the teams could be out. So
it was the Ravens who had the bye week last year, wasn't it?
Yes.
And that's what effectively upset the rhythm.
Yeah, because they rested players, didn't they?
Yeah. Will the same happen with Kansas City and Green Bay? You never know.
Well, the Bucks played all their players and Mike Evans got injured, so. Oh yeah, we'll just find out what's going on, but it should be a good time. So we'll see you in the postseason.
As always, follow us on the usuals, socials. You should, if you're listening, you know where they are. You know what they are. I don't, so crack on, boys and girls. As always, as well, if you do want to be involved in the WhatsApp group chat, it's growing literally week by week. We've had our there's a list of teams. I think I put it on Twitter that we're looking to get a fan from every team into our WhatsApp group chat, and I think I put it onto our @ThirdShortPod Twitter a few days ago with what teams we had and what teams were left. We don't have a full mini division yet, do we? Don't have a full conference yet. There's two that are on three, I think. We had I think it's Bucks. Bucks, Saints, and Panthers, don't we? And we have.
Why could we got Falcons join that game? It would have been fun.
We have Steelers, Bengals, Browns now.
Yeah.
Jen, the Browns fan, has joined the group chat. So get at us on Twitter if you want to come into the group chat. You'll probably speak to our socials guy Gary, and if he doesn't send you to sleep, then we'll get him to put you in the group chat.
If you don't wake up underneath his patio.
As always, as well, look at the merch, silverfx.co.uk. Follow the links to Third Short Pod. 25% off, I think he said, didn't he? With discount code Playoffs21. I think Gaz has stuck it on the Facebook and probably the Twitter this afternoon. And you've got some great new merch coming with our faces on. If you want to see our faces without seeing our face, it's dead bizarre. You can't
without
see our face.
any eyes.
You can tell it's us. You can tell it's us. It's weird. Not just because of the Raiders, Giants, and Bucks emblems, but you can tell it's us. It's bizarre. Get in touch. We'd love to hear feedback. If you've got any questions, fire them at us. If not, we'll probably make some up next week or something. I don't know. Week 14 of the podcast, been getting it since day one. Cheers.
See you in the playoffs, baby. Woo!